Joe Bob, you've got to go to this circus. People have been saying to me, Joe Bob, you have got to see this Montreal circus. And Joe Bob, this French circus is in town that you can't pronounce. You need to see this. So I finally went to the gall dang thing, the Cirque du Swan Lake, or whatever you call it. How do you say it? The Cirque du Soleil. The Montreal circus. And the first thing I noticed is that the whole deal is in a tent, like God intended. I like this about a circus. 1 point for the Frenchies. Next thing I notice is that my ticket is $37. Frenchies are back to zero. Next, I see that we're going to have a whole bunch of clowns in this circus. The kind that wear fur balls on their head and pants that look like Leroy Neiman threw up on them, and they prance around like constipated chickens, make these high-pitched squeaky sounds like Captain and Tennille singing Muskrat Love. This is the ancient art of Commedia del Stinky. I hate clowns. 3 points off for that. Now, after a bunch of dry ice and colored smoke and geeching around by these clowns, we get the first act. It's 4 14-year-old girls in pink leotards who can bend themselves into every shape in the Chinese alphabet. Now we're talking circus. This one girl could lie on her stomach, put her ankles on either side of her head, raise herself up on her elbows, twist her large intestine into the shape of a croissant, and do the multiplication tables with her left thigh. You had to see it. I mean, some of these positions were so obscene that people were saying, "No, I don't think that's what we're looking at. No, when she unfolds herself, it'll just be her hip bone or something." You know, see, they didn't believe it. 5 points for that act. I love that. One of the wonders of Western civilization. Then we get more clown bull stuff in there. Only 2 points off though this time because they did have this life-size Miss Piggy with orange jello on her head, and I kind of liked her. Next, we get one of those Korean seesaw acts where guys dress up like valet parkers at Caesar's Palace and launch one another up in the air and then land on the shoulders of some junior high school dropout who agreed to stand at the bottom of the pile. You know what I'm talking about? 2 points for that. Then we got this tightrope act. It was fairly decent, especially this guy dressed up like Grandpa Munster. 1 point for that. Then this chubby girl in one of those flesh-toned bodysuits that makes you look like you're naked. She did a trapeze solo where you dangle from your heels and fling yourself around like a sack of potatoes up there. 3 points, highly entertaining for that one. And then they bring out the showstopper. It's this Russian guy with oiled up muscles and a Tarzan breechcloth that's so little they might have just used a magic marker on his private parts. And this rusky Tarzan, he wraps these leather straps around his arms and he sails up into the sky like Peter Pan and he rolls his loins around like a cross between a golden eagle and a slave boy in a San Francisco porno act. And all the women in the audience, they're starting to think about divorce proceedings out there. 4 points. I mean, if I was gay, I won't go into that. But anyway, finally we get the real trapeze act. And then we get this Chinese lady that can spin umbrellas on her feet. They taught this in the communist work camps or something. I don't know. And then we get another Russian guy who can stand on his head on top of 8 chairs stacked up on a table while carrying a birthday cake. I think they do that in Vladivostok or something. And it turns out, and this is very hard for me to admit, they even have one decent clown. They have this guy in a Charlie Chaplin suit who goes out in the audience, he's looking for something, and he's climbing up through the rows in the audience, just destroying people, destroying their wardrobe and their hairdos, and 30, 40 people he climbs over. Now this is my kind of guy. I kept waiting for the elephants in this show. No elephants in this circus. How can you call it a circus without elephants being forced to do unnatural acts for you? 5 points off for that. You know, they still scored in the positive numbers though, and as long as I don't have to listen to them talk, yes, I admit it's a drive-in kind of circus. I recommend it. The Circus du Camembert or whatever. I can't remember the name of it, but it's great. All right. You would have noticed that guy too, you know. You know when you wear thongs in the summer, that piece of rubber that comes up between your toes? I swear that's all the guy had between his legs.